Okay, so talking about CorelDraw as a graphic design tool, and then the first thing I have to mention about CorelDraw is that it is a vector-based software, a vector-based design software. Okay, so all that means is that it works with it works with points like vector points rather than pixels. Okay, rather than pixels. On the other hand, Photoshop is a pixel-based software. Okay, we will understand more about why this is so as we progress in the course. Okay, um, CorelDRAW is great for beginners. It's a great tool. You can use it and start design locally. You can use it to start design locally. You can it's what printers usually ask for whenever they want to print designs. Okay. It will also help you master some basic um, design principles too. So it's great for beginners. We would eventually touch Photoshop, but that will be later on in the course. Okay, so later on in the course, we will touch Photoshop. Okay, before I continue, let me introduce you to some tools that will enable us to understand ourselves in this tutorial. So in this tutorial, I will be you see my mouse, you see the face, you see the actions I take with my mouse and the actions I take with my keyboard. Okay, so for example, if I click here, you see that I clicked my mouse. If I right click, you see that I right clicked. Okay, if I roll ball, you see there, roll up, scroll down. If I press anything on the keyboard, okay, by pressing anything on the keyboard, you see there. Okay, so that is it there. You see it on the left side where you have that mouse icon. All right. So it's not part of the user interface for CorelDRAW, but it's to greatly aid us in understanding my actions in the course of this tutorial. All right, so let us dive in. First task we have is creating a new CorelDRAW file. A new CorelDRAW file. So we are going to create a new CorelDRAW file now. You come here. This is new documents. You click on it and it takes you to this page. You don't have to bother about anything on this page because you can customize them inside. The only thing you may need to check is this resolution. Make sure it is 300 ppi. That's the only important thing here now. Then you OK it. When you OK it, you have created a new document. Okay, you can change this name later. Maybe when you save, Control S. When you Control S, save. Okay, there's nothing here yet, so let us just do something. Okay, so if you save, then you can name it. Okay, you can name it and then go ahead. So let's just name this my first comment or CorelDRAW tutorial. Okay, save. Great. So we have that as our first document, CorelDRAW tutorial. All right. So I'm going to take you on a tour around this workspace. Um, so the first thing we want to look at is the menu bar. Our menu bar is this bar that has file, edit, view, layouts. Okay, that's the menu bar. The menu bar is for file based, okay, file based and editing, file based options and editing options. Okay, so for file, you already know what you should find in file. Save, you should find save, open, close. All right. Export is also here. In edit, you should find undo, redo, paste, copy. clone, all of that. In layouts, you should be able to insert new pages, duplicate pages. You should be able to uh, you should have some document options where you set up the grid and all the stuff. Okay. For objects, for the object option, you can create new objects, insert, power clip, hide, lock, a lot of options there. Effects, this is where the editing now comes in. Okay, you can do a lot of edits with effects. You can do a couple of edits with map and text. Okay, there are various text options here, and even you can create a table too from here. Okay, tools, this is where you set up your CorelDraw. This is where you customize your CorelDraw, the look of your CorelDraw. If you like how my CorelDraw looks black, we'll get to it. I'll show you how you set it up. Okay, this is your window tool and then help. Okay, that's for the menu bar. Then for the standard bar, um, this is the standard bar. This bar here is the standard bar. You have new documents. You can create a new document here. You can open a new document. You can export. You can do a lot of things here. Okay, these are the options here. For property bar, this is the property bar. Okay, it tells you the property of what you're working on. For example, this workspace, the artboard here. Artboard is a Photoshop and Illustrator thing, but let us just use artboard so that you can understand. If now I'll call this workspace. Okay, the artboard here is liter size. Okay, size is it's a liter. Okay, so that's the size of the artboard here. You can change so it tells you you can change it to A4. So it tells you the characteristics of the stuff. Okay, the this A4, you can see the size here, 10 by 297. If you change it to something else, the size will also change. And it also tells you that this is in portrait mode. You can make it to landscape mode, and you see that it change. Okay, so this there are various options here in the property bar. Okay. Um, toolbox or the toolbar. So this is where you have the toolbox or the toolbar. Okay, these are the various tools that we will be using in the course of this tutorial or in the course of this project. Okay, these are the various tools we'll be using. Onto this side, you have your color um you have your color bars. Okay, this is where you have all your color palettes where you can select colors. Then um for navigation, this is where you have your navigation bar. You can have multiple pages. If you add more pages like page one, page two, page three, you can navigate from one page to another. Okay, this is where you have your navigation, and then your status bar. Status bar. This is the status bar. It tells you what is going on the page. It gives you information on what is going on the page. If I do this, I come to create a shape. See, what's happening on the status bar. It's telling me the width, the height in millimeters, and by the time I'm done, it will also tell me if my shape has a fill, which it does not have, and if it has an outline, which it has. Okay, and the outline is at 0.5 points. The property bar also tells me the same thing. It also tells me that the thickness of my outline is 0.5 points. Okay? And so that's how we work with these bars here, with these bars. Okay, that's the workspace overview. Then I'm going to show you how to customize your workspace. Now, in customizing your workspace, you're adding helpful tools or helpful dockers. We call them dockers. Helpful dockers that will help you for your productivity. So right here, you notice that I have some dockers here. I have the hint docker, which is usually the default docker, the only default docker that you have. in case you are just opening your CorelDraw. So this is the this Docker. Practice Docker tells you the properties of gives you more specific property details than property bar. Okay, it gives you more specific details than the property bar. Okay, so you can change and customize a lot of things from here. And property Docker. Then the object Docker tells you what is on the document and on what layer it is. Okay, so you can have something on top of the other, or you can have something inside the power clip, and you'll be able to find out from the object docker. The object docker can also tell you the kind of object, tell if it is a text, if it's a bitmap, if it's a shape or a curve. The object docker is what tells you that. Then transform docker gives you some freedom to transform shape as much as you want. The alignment can you should know what it does. It helps you align objects and also helps you distribute them evenly. Then you have your export docker, which I use to export. Okay. Not many people export like I do, but it's fine. This is where I export my stuff. Then also have my glyphs docker. My glyphs docker, there are texts that have glyphs. That is um an alternative way of writing each letter. So, for example, see this one. This is the original zero, but it has different ways of writing the zero. So I like having it so that I can also check if a particular font has glyphs because I like to style my text a lot. Okay, that's why I have the glyphs. Okay. All right. So these are a lot of dockers, and then where you set them up is here. You come to um tools, yeah, tools, no, windows, see dockers. You come to dockers, and then when you come to dockers, you see all the ones I ticked, all the ones that are ticked are the dockers I have on the right. Okay, so if you need anyone, click click and it will create. So I'm going to pick another canal and show you. Let me pick let me pick pages docker. So I click on pages and you see that's added here. Pages. Okay. So it's there are various dockers you can pick to customize your workspace. So I'm going to um cancel this docker now because I don't really need it. Another thing I want to show you is how to make your interface black like this. I know many people are used to CorelDraw being light theme. Okay, but if you like the way my own is, I want to customize your own like that. I'll show you how to do that. You come to Windows, um, no, you come to Tools. Okay, see Options. Go to CorelDraw and you click on it. Take you to this place. Now you want to come to this document option. No, not document option. Come to customization option. Okay, customization option. All the you have all these options here. But what we are looking at is theme. So you come to theme and you select black. Right. Once you select black, okay, it's and your theme changes and it becomes like this. Then you can go ahead and work with it. If you want to change it for every document, you have to do it on the welcome screen. Okay, so come to the welcome screen. Uh, Windows, no tools, sorry, options, customize, and then you change it to black. Okay, that is how you do it. That's how you get this dark theme on your CorelDRAW. Okay, um, I'll just wait for it to finish. Okay. So navigation. So if you want to navigate around this, how do you navigate? How do you navigate on CorelDRAW workspace? Okay. So to zoom in, it's easy. If you have your mouse, you just roll the ball and you can zoom in and zoom out. Okay. If you want to scroll from left to right, you have these bars here. You can move if they are full. You can click here. You can click here. All right. If you want to go up and down, it's like this. If you want to do all those operations, shorthand your mouse. What you need to do is, if you hold down Control, this is what you get. If you hold down Shift, sorry, this is what you get. Hold down Shift and roll ball, your mouse ball. This is what you get. You can move from left to right. If you hold down Shift, if you hold down Alternate and you move your mouse ball, you can move on bottom. Okay, okay. That is the navigation. Then, but you don't need to hold down any command or Shift or Alternate before you can zoom in and zoom out. You can actually also do that with um, the zoom tool. Well, we'll come to that later. Um, then for panning, you just need to press H. Once you press H, you can pan. By panning, I mean you click and hold and then you drag. Okay, pan to the segment you want to. Another way of doing that is by clicking here. This. If you click this, you can pan to where you want to pan. So let's say I am here now. Like click this. Okay. If you have objects, it only works if you have objects on the other side. So let's create an object here. Yeah, and I am here. The object is there and I am here. I can click here and pan to this side. Okay. So that is it. That is it. Alright. Um then if you want to switch pages, if you want to move from one page to another, you can start by um, page down and page up. So it takes you back to page one. As you can see on on the navigation bar. Okay. While if you sit down, it will take you the pages underneath. Okay, pages under. All right. Then if you want to set up your documents, want to set up your documents now. To set up your documents in if you want to set the orientation of your documents, I already told you this is where you click. Okay. If you want to uh, if you are if you want to set up your rulers, assuming you don't have your rulers, these are the rulers we're talking about, horizontal and vertical rulers. If you do not have rulers, then you come to view and then you check rulers, guides, dynamic guides. Just check rulers and guides. These are the two you need. All right. If these other ones are not checked, you can check them. But check everything I checked. So rulers, guides, dynamic guides, document navigators, rovers. Check all of them in case you have not checked them. All right. And uh, yeah. So that is it basically. And what can you do with these rulers? You can use them to. If you click on a ruler and you drag it down, you can create a guideline, which we use a lot in CorelDraw. If you click on this side and you drag it in, you create another guide, a vertical guide, right, which you can also use in your creative work. All right. So that is it basically for working for the door on a CorelDraw workspace. So I'll just quickly do a little demonstration. I'll just quickly do a little demonstration now on what we can create on CorelDRAW. So I'll quickly create a rectangle. Okay. Uh, Let me show you how the property bar works. Property. Okay, this is the property bar. You can see the switch. It's no longer on page mode. It's now on object mode. Okay. Telling you, wanted to give you properties of the object I am about to create. So I'm creating the object now. Let me create it inside the workspace. So this is a rectangle. It has given me If you not watch, it has given me all the properties of this object of this rectangle. It has given me the coordinates. You see why it is a vector. It has given me the coordinates of where the shape is. Okay, and if I and you can also see the um, dimensions of this object here, the width and the height. Okay, the width and the height, and you can see that it is locked. Why it is locked is that if I come here and I change the size to 50 and I enter, it automatically changes the height. But if this is unlocked, the height will not change automatically. Do you understand? So this is for rotation, this is for flipping it. So assuming we have this, you can when you click on it, you, all these uh, options will come up for you to skew or to rotate. So I'm going to rotate it a little. See, that's changed. Value has changed. Now, if I want to flip this, I can click here and it flips. Click here and it flips. Or flip. If I want to flip this, mirror it vertically, I click here and it flips. Okay. So there are other options here. Again, I can revert this by just entering the value of 0. So this is back to 0 degrees. All right, a straight rectangle. Um, yeah, these are all the options here. But various options. We are going to touch on them in 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 future lessons. Okay. Uh, just another quick show of what you can do on CorelDraw. You can see for add color here. See here. This is the space for document palette. Okay, this is space for document palette. So more colors I use on these documents, the more colors show up here. All right, more colors. Even if I use it for outline, so I'm going to use this one for outline. It shows up here. Okay? So any color at all I'm working with, it shows up here on the document palette. Right. So that is it for today. So today we learned about how to create a new CorelDraw file. By the way, when you are done, you can always Control S save. Okay, you can. If you notice, there was a. Let me move this. See, that there here shows you that the document has not been saved. When you do Control S, the asterisk goes out and it saves. Okay, so that shows you that document has been saved. Um, Today we have learned a lot. We have taken you through it all on CorelDRAW interface. So it should not bother you so much in where to find what. Alright. And I've shown you how to create a new document, how to save it, and I've shown you all the toolbars, the um menu bar, this menu bar. I've shown you the standard toolbar. This is the standard toolbar. Shown you the property bar. This is the property bar. Okay. I've shown you the toolbox. This is the toolbar or the toolbox. Okay. I've shown you the color palette bar. This is the side for the color palette. I've shown you the page navigators. This is the page navigator. This page navigator bar. And I've also shown you the status bar. This is the status bar. Alright. This is the status bar. For I know some persons may not have this document palette bar, but I'll show you how to set up. Okay, document palette bar. I'll show you how to set it up in um future tutorials. Okay, so thank you very much. I hope you enjoy this.